that where I want that? Let's mess around with the tripod a bit. That should be fine. Should be fine. Oh, man. For those of you who are viewing this stream after the fact, I gotta apologize. I've been bone dry on content for the last few days because, well, one, it was the holiday season, so obviously I'm not gonna make any videos on Christmas. I think I released one on Christmas though. I think so. But two, immediately after Christmas was over, the day after, Thursday, I got sick. And at first, throughout the morning and most of the afternoon, I thought I wasn't that sick. It was just a slight cough. Not even a very regular cough, even. Just a very slight cough. Thursday night comes along, and I get ready for bed. And this thing hits me like a sack of bricks. And I am not happy about it. I was doing very bad these last few days, kids. Very bad. Friday into Saturday, I actually couldn't move a whole lot. My mother, bless her soul, actually ended up visiting me and like hand delivering me like NyQuil and Dayquil, Tylenol, all the magic anti-sick medicine. And I know her heart's in the right place, but she's like, we gotta go to the hospital. We gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, at this point, it's just a flu. I just need to sleep it off. But it's one of the roughest flus I've ever had. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's 4 days later, and it's still absolutely wrecking my sinuses up. It's kind of hard to talk. I'm still feeling drained, still achy. And in case you can't tell, it's messing with my voice a bit. I wonder if you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. But the worst of it's past, because the worst of it was on Friday. And I was actually delirious for a lot of Friday. And I wish I could have recorded that. I wish I had a camera trained on me throughout most of the day Friday. Because there's no comedy, in my opinion, quite more pure than a deranged sick man stomping around the house, absolutely delusional, freaked out of his gourd over a flu. It was nuts. So that was my weekend. And my holiday. It is what it is. As for what's coming up, I'm hoping that on New Year's Eve I get to hang out with some friends that I have not seen in a long time. In previous years, we would get together and play some board games into the wee hours of the night. I'd like to meet up with them again. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything besides go to work for the next few days just to get this out of my system. case you can't tell, these are my orders from yesterday. So I've been a busy boy. Oh, had a very, very busy holiday weekend. It was like that yesterday, and it was something similar Friday, too. All that Christmas money people are getting. And I know, shouldn't be handling cards while sick, but from what I understand, the virus just kind of dies after 24 hours. So, as long as I'm not like snotting it up, it should be fine. And like I said, the worst of it's past. Also got this stack to take care of. And this stream is not going to be like my previous ones. If my headache, and I do have a headache, if it gets much worse, I'll stop. But I'm feeling better than I did yesterday. Yesterday I could barely move. Alarm. Figured try doing something productive. Get some more orders done. Get some chatting in. Turn this off. Maybe ask everybody how their holidays have been. I do hope everybody's had a good and a Merry Christmas. Oh, that's a lot of 4th edition. Okay. Vanguard. Put you over there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Flesh and Blood. The list. Ravnica Allegiance. Scourge. Duelist Nexus. From Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, the worst part about this whole being sick thing, Thursday, I went to the game store to hang out, and the owner there, who's a good friend of mine, he caught my cough as I came in, and he asked me if I was sick, and I was like, no, I'm not sick, it's just a chest cold, whatever. That thing you get when you're cold and your body's trying to warm you up, whatever. Which I've learned is not a real thing. I'm an idiot. But I assured him I was not actually super sick. He was worried. So now, I hope I didn't get him sick. Because he's an older gentleman. And if he gets it as bad as I got it, then he is going to be in for a rough few days. But I'll kind of have to beg him to forgive me. It won't be fun. He'll probably kill me. Knowing me. Knowing my luck. Do I not have tissues out here? Ah, well, paper towels. Good enough. Put you right there. Who's chatting with me? Who's chatting with me? Philip Cummings, hello. Elliot Hayslip, how do you store cards? And Phillips again with this was a rough year for sickness. Yeah. It hit me like a brick. Not a big fan of how it's treating me. Year in review for TCGs that was in the cards. Believe it or not, I was planning on doing a big video covering my top 10 favorite and top 10 least favorite releases across all TCGs. Yu-Gi-Oh! Not just the big three, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, Magic, but things like Force of Will, what's it? Flesh and Blood, White Shorts, etc. I was planning on doing that video yesterday, and I've been very sick, so I don't think that video is going to be made. Or if it does, it won't get made until New Year's Day. Because let's see, I work the next 3 days. And tomorrow night, I probably work the next 3 days. As long as this doesn't get any worse, I should be able to work. As long as it gets better. I work the next 3 days. I'll be busy tomorrow night. I will hopefully be busy Wednesday night. So I might be able to make something Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday might work. I might be able to crank it out. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that wouldn't be a terrible time to do it. I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular I have going on then. I don't think so. I think I should be free Tuesday. Let's see how that goes. As for your other question, how do I store cards? I've answered this in a previous video. And I just use the BCW boxes. Who said that? Audrey Sampson, hope your weekend holiday went well. Well, my holiday went well, Audrey, but rewind the stream a bit to the beginning and listen to my explanation at the beginning. The last 4 days of my life have been miserable. I've had a terrible flu. And I'm still recovering from it. So, holiday was great. Weekend was awful. What smaller TCGs have you been jamming on? Fantastic question. Ugh. I'm not going to roll over there. I really do want to roll over there. But last week, I acquired some of the demo decks for the old Dragon Booster TCG. I've been toying around with that a bit, and let me tell you, that is way more fun than I thought it would be. Just a lot more enjoyable in general. I thought it was going to suck. Based off an old crappy cartoon that I thought was awful. Turns out the game itself is not terrible. Alright, how do I want to do? I suppose a productivity stream means you should get some work in, so let me get this stack moved slightly. Just so it's out of the workspace area. Nador Green, what's good? Sick. I'm recovering from being sick. I'm very sore. I've got a terrible headache. It's killing me, actually. But I'm going to try to power through it. Be a big boy. Be a big man. I don't know if I'm doing any push-ups for the next few videos because I am absolutely being crushed by this headache. And fortunately, I have a doctor that I'll be seeing on Thursday to talk to about it, but I am getting worried about these frequent headaches because whenever like there's something even slightly wrong with me, a crazy headache shows up and sticks around for a few days. It's really starting to worry me. Hope it's nothing serious. I'm sure it's fine. And when I say anything wrong with me, I mean anything wrong with me. Recovering from this flu, so this headache's going to be here for a few days, but get slightly sick from bad food, headache for a few days, sleep wrong, headache, sneeze the wrong way, headache. Let's do this in reverse order, I guess. Visions. Over here I go. Like I said earlier, I do apologize if my voice is not coming out as clear as it could be. But I think, given the circumstances, you guys will forgive me. One funeral charm. Thanks, Audrey. War of the Spark. I was really sleep today. What the hell's wrong with me? Any favorite videos of mine that I would like to recommend? Does it have to be on this channel? I've got two channels. I have this channel, which is my chill channel where I talk about whatever I enjoy. And then I have the Lore Seeker channel, which is ostensibly about magic lore, but is more often than not just me being very angry. I'm trying to work on that. If it's from the Frank channel, I did a video covering Light of Destruction, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set after I finally completed that collection. I'm very proud of that video. I had another video not too long ago going over the Mega Man Battle Network TCG. I'm a huge fan of that card game, so check that one out. And if you're looking for older stuff, I have a top 5 Pathfinder novels, Pathfinder rulebooks video you can check out, which gives exactly the information it says on the tin, if you're into role-playing games at all. So, there's 3 videos for you. Great. As I'm hacking up a lung here. Let's see if I can make it through this stream without dying. Now I'm curious, if I do like collapse on stream, will YouTube shut it down eventually? Like, if I fall over, will one of the YouTube mods just close the stream for me? I hope so. It'd be embarrassing having a stream here with nobody knowing what happened. Bunch of 4th edition cards. Why is the chair being call the police for me? Thanks, I appreciate it, kid. YouTubers are falling asleep on stream. The stream keeps going. I think YouTube only intervenes if you do copyright music or other things that get flagged. I can believe that. Although, I suppose that makes sense, because those professional streamers, those VTubers, those guys go at it for hours. I think that's very nuts. Impressive, don't get me wrong. But crazy to sit there for hours at a time and just stay focused, stay locked in. It's not for me. Definitely not for me. If I did a 6-hour stream, I think I'd lose my mind an hour in. That's what I was playing like a really good game of Bloodborne. Bloodborne's awesome. Or The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64. Classic. Co-hosted a stream once for 4 hours. Jeez, that sounds terrifying. Your voice was shot, yeah. I believe it. Solnet. All of them? 2, 4. Okay. They're yours, my friend. Any with my Tundra Wolves? There are the Tundra Wolves. There's 4. I hope you guys can hear that noise. It's like my favorite noise I can make. I love that noise. "18 minutes max to open a pack of cards." Nate, my friend, if you can manage to stretch a single pack of cards into 18 minutes of quality streaming, you do you. I'd be very impressed to see somebody pull that off. I've seen plenty of YouTube channels for various card games try to make Rushin is his name, I think. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh guy who, like, all I know him for is that he opens packs and everybody loves him. I think it's Rushin, or however the hell you say his name. But I don't know. Audrey is right. You could do pack openings as daily shorts. I do daily shorts, but I'm not sick. Over on Lore Seeker, flavor text of the day. And when it's done in short format, just cracking a pack and going nuts, it's not bad. I thought about bringing shorts to this channel, but I wasn't sure what they could be about, you know? I'm making allegiance. Like, what could I even do? Suppose I could showcase random cards from random card games, or random books, or random, I don't know, random pick-me-ups. I don't know. I'm giving it some thought, but I'm not entirely sold on the concept yet. Yeah, see, do an MTG card of the day, do a brief thing on the history, and then ideas for how to use it in a deck. See, here's the problem with that. I am bad at the game. Very bad at just about every card game I play. I've tried getting good, and with some decks in certain formats, in very specific situations, I'm okay. But most of the time, I'm terrible. Now the chair don't want me. Scourge. Sprouting vines. Yes, that I do agree with. I don't know. I never say never. I'm always open to good ideas. After all, being willing to take that first step into a new path is often the most important step towards a decision that could really improve your life. But at the same time, I'm still hesitant to do another daily series of videos. Flavor text of the day is already enough for me, considering I have a job, this, 2 YouTube channels, a whole bunch of house stuff, a regular Pathfinder campaign I GM. I'm busy as hell. Why do I have a YouTube channel? Ugh. I think I just broke that. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, it's spent. Tape. Besides, I'm not really... It is good to have hobbies. And I've got a lot. The more I experience of this beautiful world we live in, the more things I have time to fall in love with, the more glad I am that I have time to spend on it, you know? Are all those orders 1 card each? Does that hurt you on shipping? Not all of them are 1 card each, and no. I was going to cover this in a video at some point. As long as you set a minimum price where you're making a profit regardless of how many cards are in the order, it's very difficult to lose money selling in bulk on TCG Player. That's not to say it's not a strenuous, slow climb. Because you are making pennies per order. But this is Sprouting Vines from Scourge. Alright? I'm charging 15 cents for this card. On TCG Player, 15 cents is the lowest I will go for a listing, regardless of the card game. Period. Because at 15 cents, if I only ever sell 1 card per order for the rest of the time, I'm still making a profit of a few pennies. I will have to reevaluate that cost based on shipping costs. In January, I think they're updating shipping again. But every few months, I like to keep on top of it, track of how much stamps cost me, and then update my minimum pricing to match. But no, I basically never lose money on shipping. TCG Player rolls that shipping into hey, Real! Welcome. 9. And yeah, like Nador said, PWE for 99% of orders means that the actual shipping cost is low. Still adds up over hundreds of orders, but it is low per individual order. Oh. I wish I had tissues. This is awful for the nose. Paper towels are great until you're using them as tissues. And then they turn into like sandpaper on your skin. It's awful. I did try and catch some of that Imagination stream, bro. I was looking for it. I was looking for it on YouTube though when you posted the link earlier today. My camera. Yeah, it's just a phone camera. Nothing I can really do about the quality. That's good. And then, yeah, I'll check it out. I will definitely check out Imaginations. Imagination had so much traction in the 2000s that it just died. It was sucking in all of our Pokemon players at the LGS. Yep, that is the story you hear time and again. I have vague memories of Imagination. I think over there somewhere there's like 2 or 3 cards for it, but I'm probably wrong. Because I know I keep buying dead card games. It's a problem. A serious problem. And I ain't gonna stop anytime soon. At the very least, look at the landscapes I'll stick on our Discord. Yeah, don't worry about it. I will be checking it out. This doesn't just go to Rills, this goes to anybody. If you guys hear about any TCGs, whether it's on Kickstarter, whether it's on MySpace or Silk Road or the shadiest website ever, whether you're hearing about it through eBay or you're hearing about it through a YouTube short, if I haven't, said anything about it and you think I might want to know about it, let me know. I will definitely check them all out because, after all, I think it's good to try as many games as you can just to see what you'll enjoy. Oh. Well, I grabbed the perfect amount right there. Awesome. Have you made a TCG from scratch, Lore? Yes, no. When I was a kid, oh man, back in the olden days. When I was a kid, some friends and I got together after school and keep in mind that all we had as a reference at the time was like Yu-Gi-Oh! We didn't know Magic existed. We didn't know Pokemon was a real thing. We didn't really care about it, at least. So some friends and I got together with our one friend. His mom had a very high-end, for the time, printer. And we got up a scanner printer, one of those, I forget what they're called. Is it just called scanner printers? It has a name. Hang on. Photocopier. Boom. Ah, photocopier. My age, it's taking the memories. What we did was we made our own rip-off Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. With even bigger attack numbers. And bigger boobs on the ladies. And bigger guns on the monsters. And we were 12, 13, 14 years old, and we thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever. But his friend's mom, she was pissed. Because we printed out hundreds of pages of this nonsense. And we tried with our little child brains to make sense of it, but it was just Yu-Gi-Oh! It was just Yu-Gi-Oh! But with like the serial numbers filed off. Yeah, this was like back in like 2000 and like I want to say like 2004, I think. Oh yeah, she was. The mom was not happy. She was furious. And so no, to answer the question in the strictest sense, no, I've never made a card game. I am aware of the process you have to go through. I have I've looked into the idea of making my own card game, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's for me. If I did make my own game, it would either be a self-contained role-playing game using a D6 system. Not because I think the D6 system is best, but because I think the D6 system is least overall complicated. Make sense? Or, if it had to be a card game, it would be one of those self-contained card games like Tanto Cuore. Have I not talked about Tanto Cuore on this channel? Oh, that's got to be a video. Oh, I have got to make that a video. It's not going to be my next video. It's not going to be what I do next because my next video is going to be about why you shouldn't keep certain cards sealed. Whenever I get around to it. Hopefully tomorrow night. Because it shouldn't take long to record that one. And then after that, like I said before, I might be doing the end of the year wrap up. But at some point in the near future, what am I, 40 minutes in and I only just now finished the first wave? I'm stupid and lazy today. Let me grab it. Oh, where are you at? Where are you at, baby? Oh, I should not have stood up like that. There you are. Hello, beautiful. Nieces, nephews, this is Tanto Cuore, a deck building card game from, it's Japanime Games. It's got several expansions. I don't think there's been a new one in quite some time. But this is an immensely enjoyable, very addictive to play deck building card game that I absolutely love to whip out and play with friends. The general premise is that you are a master of the house, that you are trying to assemble the best made team money can buy. And by money, I mean love. Because the currency in this game is love. And sometimes alcohol in the one expansion. Oktoberfest. This game is really fun. And I don't just say that because it's got some nice sexy maids on it. I don't just say it because it is the ultimate harem building experience. It is a legitimately enjoyable card game. I really like it. A lot. Building a harem of anime girl maids, what could go wrong? A lot. Let me put this away. Oh, man. Armored Angels beats out maids. It's an opinion you're allowed to have, my friend. Opinion you're allowed to have. So I'm over here dying again. Where's my water at? Oh, I'm so thirsty. Do I collect the smaller Japanese TCGs as well? I don't go out of my way to collect them. But if some come my way, I never turn them down. There's one that I'm actively collecting because it doesn't have an English fucking release. Rush Duels for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know it's just the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game but different, but it's different enough that I really like it. And since Konami just refuses to give us an English release, I am forced to buy the Japanese cards. At some point, when I have infinite money, I guess, you know, if Patreon dollars start rolling in, or I get some YouTube paychecks, hint, hint, or more people buy from TCG Player, sooner or later, when I get a lot of money, I'll start buying the old Berserk TCG from Japan as well. That was made by Konami way back in the day, and it's extremely expensive. Like, the loose singles are just... I couldn't find a card under $20. It's nuts. When I was shopping like a month, 2 months ago. Game is not cheap. There's not a lot of other Japanese TCGs that I think I desire. There's... Battle Spirit Saga came to America finally. I dropped the ball on it, but whatever. There's some Japanese exclusive Flesh and Blood cards I want to get a hold of at some point. But I'm not holding my breath. Those are fucking expensive. But yeah, no, for now it's just Flesh and Blood, and if I get money, if I get a lot of money, Berserk. Berserk. But I won't hold my breath. Finish out these orders. I did think that I would try to do a recording after this video, but after this live stream. But now that I'm sitting here going now that I'm sitting here doing this, That headache's really creeping up on me, so I am probably just going to go to sleep after this. Chug some OJ and pass out. In the morning, wake up, have eggs for breakfast, do some stretches, head to work. Or at least, hopefully, head to work. I hope that this is mostly gone by tomorrow. I missed 2 days of work last week because of this. No, it's just the headache left over from the flu. I assure you, nephew, I cannot be dehydrated. I am the water slurping master. So from time to time, if you're selling on TCG Player, you'll get an order with more than 10 cards. Okay? When that happens, what I do is, as long as it's under a certain amount, 30 cards is usually my upper limit, you can put it in one of these, and as long as you're able to close it, and as long as you think it can fit through an envelope slot, you're good to go. Just be extra careful. Instead of using the normal postage stamp, you go get these butterfly stamps from the post office. You slap one of these bad boys on instead. And the marks it as non-machinable, which means that the guys in the post office will not try to mangle your envelope with their sort of machine death grip claws. Occasionally, you'll have a package returned to you, marked as too heavy or postage needed. Chances are, if it's under 30 cards, it's just been misweighed. Chances are. There's a really decent chance. I have a scale around here somewhere, and I've weighed a bunch of my packages just to make sure that they are under the USPS weight limit for normal stamps. And I found that even with Magic cards and Force of Will cards, which are slightly heavier, even there, like, packages containing like 40-ish cards are still under the weight limit just slightly. So if it gets returned to you, don't freak out. Just send it back out. Make sure you weigh it yourself if you have a scale, but now if it returns to you and you're like, you're not sure, just pay the postage. It ain't gonna kill you to lose an extra buck on that order, because after all, if there's enough cards in that order for it to cost extra like that, then there's enough cards in that order to make it worth it to pay the extra postage. And if there's not, if those extra cards are not making up for the postage, then you messed up somewhere. Reprice your cards. Any TCG where cards are usually horizontal, aside from TCG for Transformers, if I recall. Designed horizontal, not like Magic Tapping. Sorta. The old Harry Potter TCG had a lot of its cards designed horizontally. They were pretty cool. So we got a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh!, some Vanguard, and some Flesh and Blood. Yeah. You've never heard of the Harry Potter TCG. I am not surprised. It's very old, and Wizards of the Coast doesn't want you to talk about it. Because Harry Potter is racist or something. I don't know. Back in the day, Wizards of the Coast made a lot of TCGs. A lot. In fact, there's probably old TCGs that you have vague memories of playing that were made by Wizards of the Coast. Or at the very least, distributed by them. Neopets, Harry Potter, Hecatomb. Pokemon was distributed by them, but I don't really count that. It was made by Nintendo. Wizards of the Coast was just like, hey, let us produce that for you. And, wow. Transformers, yeah, they've done a lot over the years. Not a lot of successes, though. And a lot of people seem to think that Magic's too big to fail. I hope they're right. Man, it would suck if Magic stopped being a good card game tomorrow. Stopped being a printed card game tomorrow. Wizards comes out with a new live stream. Sorry guys, we're done. Get bent. Galaxy 100. And Mannadium Reframing. They could sell MTG to another company. Unlikely. And here's why. Wizards of the Coast is a subsidiary of Hasbro. Magic the Gathering is the most profitable thing Wizards produces, which means it's the most profitable thing Hasbro owns. By a long shot. And if you're ever paying attention during the quarterly reports, there's like not even anything that comes close to how valuable Magic is to Hasbro as a company. Now, I'm not like a mind reader. I can't see the future. And I don't got any of those amazing psychic powers that some other YouTubers claim to have that lets them see what's going to happen in the market in the future. But let me tell you, I very much doubt that Hasbro would be willing to part with Magic the Gathering. As a company, they have shown themselves several times to be fully willing to just let a property burn and crash and be destroyed by their own ineptitude than they would be willing to sell it or part with it or any of that nonsense. I very much doubt that there's any future in which Hasbro willingly parts with Magic the Gathering unless they are given like a really good offer. Someone out there in the audience or in the wider world, they're going to be able to tell you what the actual numbers are. But Magic is like a significant percentage of Hasbro's wealth. Like annually. Chimera Fusion from Dune. Like a not insignificant amount comes straight from Magic. Which is why you see Wizards of the Coast, whenever some new set breaks a record, Widget is always very proud to talk about it. Is this all Shaman King? Fuck. Hasbro probably comes down to Transformers, My Little Pony, and Magic the Gathering. Yes. And to G.I. Joe. But sadly, outside of the world of comics, I feel like Hasbro doesn't really feel like acknowledging G.I. Joe exists. Where did I put Shaman King? I really should bundle you with the rest of the Vanguard stuff, but another day. Eliza. Oh, this guy's all over Eliza. Okay. Necromancer, Faust. Oh, profitable. How profitable is Transformers right now? I haven't looked at a while. But they got really hush-hush over Transformers 1 earlier this year. Seems like they didn't want to talk about it. Or advertise it. Toys doing really good with the 86 movie series line. I believe it. I don't know, I just feel like outside of like special releases, special toys, special kits, I don't hear a lot of news about Transformers these days. It's a shame. About the only toys not going to Ollie's. Ah, good old Ollie's. Showing off the glut of the industry. One warehouse full of trash at a time. You know, 5 years ago, Ollie's was the place where you would get stuff. 5 years ago. 7 years ago. 2017. Jeez. Back then, Ollie's was where you went to buy stuff thinking that the market would turn. Nowadays, Ollie's is where you go to point at just complete failures and laugh. I have not been to an Ollie's physically in 6 months. But the last time I was there, there was this mountain of Star Wars toys right near the front of the store. And it was huge. And there were cases of it. And they were like there was Star Wars. There was oh, what was it? Black Panther 2, I think. I think it was the movie that they had there. Which, I don't know why they made Black Panther 2 since the actor died, but whatever. Disney do what Disney want, I guess. I should focus. I'm almost done. I should get this. I'm so tired. Decimated Great Axe. Dust Tone Down. Well, whatever that is, I hope it's not someone trying to break in. That would suck. Normally I'd say for them, but how I'm feeling right now, I think a geriatric puppy could take me in a fight. That is not Decimated Great Axe. Literally the last card of the box. Alright. The 86 line is an adult collector line where they massively charge up for the figures. They can get it. Massive secondary market and scalping from them as well. Huh. Killing me surprised. Sincerely. I would think that Transformers is a product line that no one would be willing to pay up charges for right now. It's a good thing I'm not betting on that kind of thing, huh? They were. G1 fans are in their 40s and have money spent now. Have money now, yeah. Counter argument. I'm a G1 fan. A lot of the times when I'm just sitting here sorting, did you know that the G1 cartoon is on YouTube for free? I watch that thing all the goddamn time. I love it. Still not paying up charges on a secondary market for anything produced by Hasbro right now. Like at all. Cancel.